This time on Real Screaming Kayaks, episode 18, we have a blast from the past. Chatham Island, wild, rugged, and a remote location full of extreme adventures and wildlife to boot. This place just absolutely blows you away. There's also Cook the Catch, where I go through and share my recipe for smoking fish. All this and more coming up on Real Screaming Kayaks, episode 18. With first fish, and it's off! Screaming! So this time in our New Zealand destination feature, I'm going back to 2013 to a special time where we went out. It was about April, we went out to Chatham Island. Now, what an awesome place this was, and such an epic trip. Our journey to Chatham Island started many months prior to this with preparation. There was a lot of things to consider. For starters, we had no kayaks out there, and to get them out there would pretty much mean a one-way trip sending our kayaks. And this was down to Johnson Outdoors Ocean Kayaks, who sent out a couple of kayaks for us so that we could go out there and enjoy and get into some kayak fishing out there and show people what it was all about. So these kayaks went out there one way, and they went out kind of a month prior to us heading out there. So they went out by barge, and this took, quite a few days. So once the kayaks got out there, our journey started at Auckland Airport, where we caught the plane. Now this was pretty epic in its own right. We jumped on what was a really old aeroplane, and this kind of set the scene for how Chatham Island was. Chatham Island lies 800 kilometres off the South Island east coast of New Zealand, and we took the flight out there. From memory, it took us an hour or two. The island itself is actually 40 square kilometres approximately. It's quite a big island, so there's quite a lot of area to cover, and we certainly didn't get to do that while we're out there. But we started off, we landed at Chatham Island, and right from the word go, we were blown away by how it's just like going back in time when you get there. Even, as I say, starting with the old aeroplane, which was awesome, old propeller plane, and it just sort of set the scene, for us. I went out with Paul MacGyver, who at the time was working for Johnson Outdoors, and he's appeared on our show quite a few times. But also Wayne Still. Now Wayne is from UFO Cookers. He kind of had all the contacts out there for us and organised the trip, and we made it happen basically. So when we arrived there, we were met by Kevin Clark, who was the owner of Port Hutt. Now that was to be our location that we were staying at, which is an awesome little place, It had everything there, and it had quite safe waters to go fishing. But what we found out was how good the area actually was for fishing. Especially one of the challenges with going to Chatham Island is the weather. It's a pretty extreme place, and there can be some pretty extreme conditions, especially wind-wise. And so, this was a challenge in itself for us, and it did limit the amount of days that we could go out on the water. But that wasn't really a problem, because that island has so many little pockets that you can travel to. And not only did we go out there with some and get the kayaks in out there, but also we basically covered our bases with spearfishing gear and freediving gear. So we went out there, and of course Chatham Island's well known for its paua, and you know, little did we know as we got there, we found out more and more just how much this place was like New Zealand was before the mainland got populated. Our first day that we got there, we spent predominantly setting up our kayaks that had freshly landed off the boat. We'd packed them full of gear inside, so there was, you know, running rigs and all sorts of things that we had to sort out, and also install fish finders. You know, we took our own fish finders and basically set them up and put them on the kayaks. So that was our first day, and then we spent a bit of that afternoon after doing that, doing the sightseeing thing. We went around the island, we had a look at an old stone cottage, which was just amazing. Now that, you know, basically real history about the first settlers sort of coming in there. And you know, when you're in that location, it was quite amazing. You could, you know, the beach was close by to that stone cottage, which was, you know, built back in the 1800s, and you really got a feel for how it was. You know, we stood on the beach having a look, and you could just imagine these settlers coming in and landing on that beach for the first time. You know, the beach had so much there, you know, like it had taura there and all sorts of shellfish. So that was part of our first sort of day. And then we went for a bit of a paua hunt in the afternoon. And why not? You know, it was so easy to get them. So we grabbed a feed of paua. So day two, finally that sort of weather had calmed down a bit, but even still, it was still pretty windy. But this is one of the advantages with where we were staying at Port Hutt. We got to fish the harbour there at Port Hutt, and it was pretty surprising what we caught. Well, here we are on day two. Just about to head out and catch some blue cod. We've had a bit of wind and so on, which has made it difficult to get out on the first day. So we spent some time having a look around the island, checking out the sights, and yeah, today the wind's still there, but it swung around a bit, and we're just going to fish the bay that we're actually staying at. So we're going to check it out. There's some really good blue cod here, and I'm really looking forward to chucking some different stuff at these fish, you know, and rather than bait, and that's what we're about, catching fish on lures. So we're going to head out now and try and land some nice blue cod for you on camera. As I mentioned earlier, we had dinner the other night, and the blue cod that we ate, the fillets were bigger than the fish we catch at home up in the north. So I'm super excited to be at the Chatham Islands and to be out for the first time kayaking. So yeah, let's get into it. So we're finally at a bit of a clearing. It's quite different paddling here up at the Chathams. There's all this bull kelp, and yeah, when you're paddling through it, it's really thick, and yeah, your paddle hits it. So yeah, it's a whole different scenario fishing out here compared to what we have at home. The kelp comes right up to the surface, so yeah, it makes it pretty tough paddling.
Drag me down. Always seems to drag me down. Won't you be me
I've had to have a bit of a change. I had a 1/2 ounce on, and unfortunately it wasn't heavy enough with this wind strength, so I've gone down to an elevator rig. And yeah, blue cod, man. I've caught heaps of them already, even on the lighter, but the heavier rigs made a bit of a difference. I mean, anyone would be real happy with a cod like this, but I want bigger than this, absolutely. So, you know, we'll keep trying. But one of the boys has got themselves a huge gurnard. But as you can see, nice blue cod. There she is. Look at that. And we're going to let them go. They are just awesome. Here, there's just so many blue cod. It's nuts. We're just catching cod left, right and centre here. It's incredible. Oh, this is a better cod. Yeah. It's really hard to get some footage for you though. The camera's so getting covered in splashes from the wind. But look at that. Woo-hoo-hoo. Beautiful cod. That's more like what we're looking for. That's a stunning fish. Check it out. And we're going to let him go too. Alright, but look at that. Awesome fish. And he's off. You can see outside of this nice little harbour where we're staying at Port Hutt just how rough it is out there. I mean, the camera doesn't show it too well, but there's some massive waves out there on the horizon, and they're just off the headlands where we would like to have gone this morning. There's a few hapooka out there, but we can't get out there today. It's just too rough, so we've decided to stay nice and close into the bay where it's safe. Hopefully things will calm down for us and we'll get into some action like that tomorrow. We've got a good forecast and things are looking good on that front. So just a matter of playing a waiting game, and hopefully we'll get some calmer weather.
Oh, look at this.
Paul there, he's got himself a Cherokee. We've caught a few species. We've got a gurnard, a lot of blue cod, and now a Cherokee. Very, very cool. Very hard to hold the camera steady out here. There's a lot of swell and a lot of wind, but we're doing it.
I'm gonna put it back now.
One of the tricky things about doing this filming here is every time I go to hit the record button on the camera, the cod get off, so you've really got to put pressure on them. It's quite hard case. They're really, really into it. They just don't stop, these guys. They're just hitting. Here we go again, you know. As soon as it hits the bottom, straight into another one. It's just nuts. I think we've got a bit of a net in front of us here too. Here we go. Another stunning blue cod. They're just awesome. And I love eating these guys. There we go. Look at that. Beautiful. Just amazing how many cod there are here. It's nuts. And these guys are really wriggly. But look at that. He's a fat guy. He doesn't like it that I've hooked him. And you can't blame him for that. There we go. Nice fat blue cod. Anyone would be well happy with that one. Well, the wind's still up, but it's pretty pleasant out here. We've had some good catches. I just had this spinner cod, let's say. It just wrapped and wrapped. I got this massive tangle up. I've never seen a cod do that before, but this guy just spun. It was just a mess, an absolute mess. But I spent a little bit of time having to sort it out, and now I'm back into it again. The boys have been catching some good fish. Paul over there just got himself a very nice gurnard. And here we go. We're getting some hits again. This is just awesome, the fishing here. You know, every drift we're sort of getting at least 1 or 2, up to 30 cod, sorry, on every drift. Now this guy, oh, he got off. That guy wasn't big. Before we were getting some really good sized cod. Amazing fishing here at the Chathams, you know. We're in a nice little bay out of the wind. Things are a little bit difficult, hard to film. A lot of splashes from these blue cod too. When they come up, they splash and carry on, which makes it very difficult to keep control of everything. Here we go again. Oh, this is a good fish. A little bit of line pulling here. Just keep the pressure on these guys pretty much as you get into them, you know. Oh, and he got off. We're having a bit of that today. However, it's not a problem to hook another one. As soon as it hits the bottom, bang, you're just into another hit after hit after hit. It's absolutely insane. It really is. And again, this guy's staying pretty sort of not moving, wiggling as much as some of the others. Could be something else like a gurnard, quite possibly. Oh, pulling a bit of string now too. Here we go. Oh no, just a really nice blue cod. What a beautiful looking fish. These guys are awesome. Check this out. See if we can get him on board without getting too many splashes. You can see that. Look at that. What a ripper. Awesome cod. That was caught on a gulp and an elevator rig. Couple of splashes. They're really feisty little guys. You can see that. They're just pumping out the water. But check that guy out. He's a wicked looking fish. Beautiful colours on him too. Really blue. And there you go. And he's off.
That's a goodie.
That's a good looking blue cod that Paul's got. Well, I assume it's a blue cod, but she's certainly pretty fine and dandy.
Nice. Check out this one. Oh, he was huge.
Looks like a pretty good one over there, Paul.
It was. They're so hungry, they just spit it and they'll come back. Have another go, halfway up. That's a goodie.
Very nice. Look how ballistic they go once they get on the kayak. They just barrel roll. And they're very, very tricky to handle on the kayak, these blue cod. Into another cod. They're just thick and fast. They're really going for it at the moment. We're on a really nice spot here. This guy's not as good as the last one I got, but boy, he's not bad. Pretty decent for a cod, you know. See how they spin around? They just try to spin and then they tangle up your line if you're not careful. Come on, mate. Keep still, buddy. And off he goes. This is a nice cod. Here we go. And it's trying to get away. Very nice cod. Look at this guy. She's a stunner. Woo-hoo-hoo! Oh man, it's going ballistic. Look at this. That's a ripper of a cod. That would have to be my personal best cod, that one. What a beautiful cod. Fat as. Stunning fish. Look at the colours on him. He's a gorgeous looking cod. But they really fight hard when they get to this size. This guy's beautiful. Beautiful cod. Off he goes. Look at that. What a ripper. It's just ridiculous how many cod there are here, you know. We just put the lines down and straight in, and here we go, I'm in again. You know, it's just nuts. Unbelievable how many fish are at the Chatham Islands. It just blows me away. Oh, I just had the major hit as it dropped down, and we're in again. Not a big cod, but oh, and I just watched them get off. That was quite cool. As soon as you give them slack line, they just, or just a little bit of a chance, they manage to come off, but they're just straight into it. You know, there's no rest between fish when you're on a good patch of them. And here we go. This guy's got a bit more weight than the last one. Straight in again. So you can see what's happening here. These fish are just so thick here that they just one after the other. I mean, we're just catching fish on every drop pretty much. It's nuts. You know, this guy's thrashing around on the surface. Here we go. Beautiful colour, look at that one. He's just got quite a bit of green in him. The last one was really blue. So they're all very, very different. And they wriggle and carry on and splash water everywhere.
Like an octopus.
Paul's got himself an octopus. Now that's something different. We've had a few species today, but octopuses,
Check it out.
look at that. And he got off. Dropped off.
Cool, man. There's another species.
That's a nice cod. We're into another one. Everybody's hooking up round here. Paul just got cooted. I've just got another nice cod. This is a beauty. Look at this. Woohoo! Absolute munter of a cod. Look at the size of that one. She's wicked. I'm just blown away by the size of these guys. Look at this. Oh yeah. That's got some serious weight to it, man. Check it out. I'm just blowing. Look at that for a cod. That is awesome. She's got some weight to it and got a bit of grunt to it. She's really thick across the head. We'll try to handle this guy carefully and let him go. Stunning fish. These guys are just awesome. Check him out. Oh, he just went nuts in my hands. They've got some serious fighting power, these guys. There he goes, he's gone. Unreal fish. Absolute mayhem. When they get on board the kayak, they're just bedlam. After catching so many blue cod, Paul and I decided it was time to head back to base for a well-deserved rest. Okay, we're back on shore now and Paul's just holding on to a couple of really nice gurnard. Not bad, eh mate?
Mate, not bad. Just paddled out from Port Hutt here and played with a few cod. By a few cod I mean hundreds of cod. We've just caught and released so many blue cod, big ones. But we took these nice gurnard back, eat them for lunch.
Awesome. Awesome, mate. Yeah, it's pretty cool out there, wasn't it? And we couldn't get out because of the big swells out there, but even just drifting across the bay here just produced so many fish, didn't it?
Oh, there's some fantastic fishery here. Terakihi, some gurnard, cod, a few cooter around. We even got an octopus today.
Yeah.
Great fun.
Yeah, we're enjoying it. First half day that we've got out. And we're looking forward to the weather coming down and also getting a bit of diving in this afternoon. There's just, the place has got such a reputation for paua.
Looking forward to that one.
With the wind up even more during the afternoon, I headed out for a bit of a dive to grab a feeder paua for us. With plenty of these tasty shellfish around Chatham Island, it didn't take long. So here we go, we've got some beautiful pauas today. These are like 150s, nice, and at the end of this, another great day. Here we go, Wayne cooking some up on the UFO.
Looking good.
Very nice, looking forward to eating these babies. And here's the man himself behind the UFO.
Yeah, we went out today and I think we got about, did we get 40, Rob?
Yeah,
Took
about
us-
40, eh?
Took us about, was it 5 to 10 minutes I suppose? I think it took longer to get the dive gear on than it did to get the actual power.
Yeah, mate, they're just so thick over here, aren't they?
Certainly are.
Yeah, awesome.
So
mate.
we're just going to have a quick little entree, as you can see.
Yeah.
and then we'll be into, let's say, a few beers after that.
Absolutely, mate. Cheers, eh? So after spending every evening absolutely just gorging ourselves on seafood, even the first night we were there, we had some amazing local blue cod, and it was stunning to eat. I just love eating blue cod. But every night we just feasted ourselves on the local seafood and also even the local stuff that was available, and the boys went hunting. But day 3 was, things got a little bit better for us. So the decision was made. The South Island guys were going to head out into the middle, and some of the others that were with me, Paul, Wayne and that, were all going. And so I was offered a boat ride out, kind of like a mothership sort of thing, if you know what I mean, out to the middle of Petrie Bay, which lies off Port Hutt. And there's a well-known reef out there which is likely to hold harpooker. So we headed out there, and it was pretty amazing. The guys fished off the boat. Wayne pulled up a shark and then pulled up a harpooker later. So I was really, really hopeful of getting a harpooker while I was out there. And everyone was blown away with what I was pulling on the soft plastics while I was out there, or the soft baits, should I say. We're heading out to this area way offshore, using the boat as a mothership. The boys are going to fish off the boat and I'm going out in the kayak. Can't wait. Our movements on the boat from within Port Hutt heading out to Petrie Bay didn't go unnoticed by the local albatross population, and once we arrived they soon gathered to take advantage of any fish that we were returning back to the ocean. So here we are out in the middle of the ocean, right off the Chathams. Beautiful day. I'm going to drop a soft bait down this nice big grub tail here, and we're going to see what happens. It's pretty neat out here. We're quite a way offshore. I come out in a mothership because of the possibility of a great white around here. It's probably, for safety reasons, it's better for us to actually use a mothership here in case something shows up that I can go back to the boat, and it's definitely going to play it safe. So, and I'll tell you what, I'm already getting hits. It hasn't taken very long. Here we go, straight away into something. Didn't take very long to hook up. It was a quick drop and away we went. It's amazing. Straight into a fish. Feels like a blue cod. So here we go. Here comes the bait. And on the end is a blue cod. Oh, awesome blue cod. Check this guy out. Woohoo! So we'll just pop this rod in the holder and I'll lift this up for you to have a look at. That's a neat sized blue cod. And he just gulped down that bait. Look at that. Wicked. We'll let him go though. Smoking your own fish that you catch is a great option. Not only does it preserve the fish and prolong its life so it lasts longer, but also gives it great flavour, and you can do many things with it once it's been done. I'm going to do some trout for this, and to start with, cut your fillets off the main body, and then in this case I'm going to take the pin bones out. My preferred method when smoking fish is to use the dry cure mix. So start by grabbing a decent bowl and adding 3 cups of rock salt and 4 cups of brown sugar. Mix them together really well before adding 2.5 teaspoons of black or white pepper, 1.5 teaspoons of ground allspice, 1.5 teaspoons of ground ginger, 1 teaspoon of chili powder and 1.5 teaspoons of cracked bay leaf. This gives it a little bit extra flavour and really makes a difference to the end result. Be sure to mix this really well. Then coat the fish on both sides, but placing it the flesh side up so that it gets a nice even coat. Now leave it to work in for 3 hours, either in the fridge or in your chili bin, but as long as it's in a chilled, cool place. Now it's time to remove that dry cure mix from the fish. So do this by using really low pressure water and rinse off all the mixture thoroughly until it's completely clean. The reason we use low pressure water is we don't want to drive any water back into the fish. Now grab plenty of paper towels and proceed to pat down the fish, drying it thoroughly on both sides. Then set aside for half an hour. After half an hour, test to see if it's ready by touching it with your finger to see if it's tacky, and this will give you an idea if it's ready to put in the smoker. As far as the smoking goes, there are many ways to do it, but for myself, I personally like to make a fire under my smoker and then let it die down until there's just some embers. This is more a cold smoking method and can be done for many hours, with the results just absolutely awesome. However you do your smoking, the dry cure mix is really well worth the effort, and the final result is just stunning. After going to all this trouble, it's well worth investing in a vacuum packer, as this will allow you to keep the fish in good condition for even longer. Special thanks to our sponsors. Outdoor Sports New Zealand provide the Old Town kayaks and Ocean kayak that get us to the action. Humminbird provides the technology that finds the fish. Railblazer customises our kayaks. Sharkskin protects the body against the elements. Neptune assists with the freediving. Pelage helps gather the seafood. Abu Garcia, Jigstar, Maxwell and Penn fight the fish.